That's forgetting what somebody's talking about when your mind's going here, there, and everywhere. Yeah, it gets tough.
You know how I handle my PTSD?
How's that?
I get on ham radio.
Yeah, I know, and I said that. I think some of the guys in here thought I might have gone around the bend. I said, if nothing else, I said I sure have appreciated the fellowship in here. It's carried me through what I'd have said was some dark mornings.
Well, see, in my world, you didn't talk about it. In my world, you didn't go see a shrink. In my world, if you did, you'd wind up with a rubber gun squad, and once that happens to you, it's over.
Yeah, I know. I work at the VA, and this is my first experience with it. My heart goes out to guys that have, were in Nam, because that was just before I was 17 when I went in 79. And I volunteered. I know a lot of the guys that I've met, they didn't have a choice.
I know Tom gets on here and has some flashbacks.
Well, I tell you, the worst dream I have with PTSD, and it's a recurring dream.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Is when I'm in Orlando and I go to that four-sided building to go pee, and I hear the door shut, and there's 9 handy-hams in their scooters trying to run me over.
I remember that one. I remember you talking about that one.
And they're rolling over me and then backing over me. And there's one guy, and I'm trying to escape to get out of there, and he's got his scooter backed up to the door, and I can't open the door.
Man, that's a nightmare.
And they knocked me over. And all I hear is, "Get that son of a bitch." And I die a slow death.
I've been having some. I don't think they're nightmares. I think they're night good mares or whatever. I've been having these sweet little gals. I don't know what's going on.
That's when you find out if your plumbing works overnight.
Yeah, my plumbing's working good. And I'll tell you what, Tom. A lot of the algorithms on your phone where they give you commercials. Or stuff I guess you talked about or something, and they're throwing you commercials. And let me ID real quick before I get into this. K4A title.
Yeah, 1FM.
Yeah, 4G.
Okay, so I'm getting all these messages on my phone, Tom, like every commercial that comes on, like if I got YouTube on, is something about erections or ED, takes this salt trick, and get stiff like a 10, 20-year-old. I'm like, I've never said anything about my member not getting the correct hardness, because it does all the time. I don't know where that's coming from.
Oh, just wait a few years.
No, I don't.
N4 EDX.
I don't have that issue even at 65, so it's...
Yeah, I don't 100%, and they've never talked about it, but it's like every commercial. There must be a lot of guys out there that's going through that.
Well, you know what? It's a very common side effect of a lot of medications, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, and I don't know this for certain, I think heart medications are like the #1 cause. If not, it's an antidepressant that does it.
I'll tell you what I've been doing and I'm doing it for cholesterol and not for ED problems, but I've been doing cayenne pepper and a lemon every morning. I'll take a lemon, I'll put it in my little bullet, I'll put a little water in it, and I'll put the cayenne pepper in it, and I'll blend it up, and then I'll drink it. And The cayenne's supposed to open your blood vessels, and something with the lemon flushes out your cholesterol. So I've been doing that for a little while, and I think that makes stuff come to life.
I do a couple things. I take lemon juice and I take apple cider vinegar with Mother's, and I put that in a cup and a big tall cup, and I'll drink that during the day. And I also take Super Beets because that puts nitric oxide into your system, and it allows the oxygen to flow better in the blood cells.
What are you using for that beet thing? Because I've heard that. I actually was going to try it one time. It's hard to find that junk.
Well, Walmart's got it in their in their supplement section. There you can get beetroot capsules or beet powder, whichever one you prefer. I like the capsules, but I've got some of the powder. Yeah, it's just Super Beets or Total Beets. That's another good one.
Yeah, I'm going to try that. I do know that I do a supplement drink every morning called Kajava. I don't know if you've ever heard of Kajava. And, dude, it is just packed full of junk. So if my body needed it, it's probably in there.
I've seen that word, but I've never paid much attention to what it was or is.
I also do a creatine monohydrate. That's before I go to the gym every day, so that helps in the recovery. It retains water in the muscles.
Yeah, when I was going to the gym a whole lot, I was doing that. I had a supplement for that, but I hadn't did it in a while. And you can tell it. Yeah, I mean, that stuff works.
Oh yeah, without a doubt, it does. Creatine monohydrate is probably the most tested supplement that they've ever had. They still can't find anything wrong with it.
Except it makes people hit the baseball, up in the rafters.
Oh yeah. So I do that stuff. And
I mean, when I played softball real heavy, I used to love softball, and when I was taking that stuff, dude, and working out good, I was crushing the ball.
Well, I like beets. Are you talking about like red beets?
Oh yeah, but you can get it in crushed powder form too. Same concentrate. That way you don't have to go out and buy the beets and keep it fresh.
Yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to Walmart today. I'm going to get me some.
Let me tell you something. If you take one at night and about 3 o'clock, don't roll over. You'll probably have a kickstand.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, EMC?
First Sergeant going to salute.
Yeah, that's it. My wife, my ex-wife, used to call the EMC, Early Morning Crowbar.
Be like, hey, baby, you want to arm wrestle? I'm ready.
But I like it because, every morning, weather permitting, y'all hear me get out here about 8 o'clock or so, 8:30. I do my 5-mile walk, and it allows me, to not stop or anything and just, keep going. I'm not winded or anything. So.
Yeah, you look like you in pretty good shape. You've been hitting the gym solid now for a long time.
Yeah, I tell you what, after I got that COVID and I was in ICU with that, man, I tell you what, I couldn't, I'd walk out to my mailbox and get winded. I had a hard time, and I put on a lot of weight, and I went back to my Hamfest fighting weight.
I seen that video you put on Facebook. You was in some kind of meeting going to some kind of show or something, and you was a little pudgy.
Yeah, I'd shot way up. I mean, quickly, and I got neuropathy in the kneecaps and top of my feet. So, and that all happened while I was in ICU. I mean, I had never had neuropathy, and I told the lady, the nurse, I said, "Ma'am, are y'all supposed to put compression on my legs? Because I ain't feeling my legs; they're asleep." And she said, "No, not for this." So I didn't think anything about it, and then they had to give me insulin. I've never had insulin, but the medications for that COVID was causing my sugar to spike up into the 500.
Yeah, that aggravates me so much, the way they did us with that whole disease, dude. And now it's coming out, all the stuff that it does to us. I'm like, I'm lucky. I'll be lucky if I live to it.
Well, I think I saved myself from dying because they wanted to intubate me because they couldn't get my O2 levels up, and I said, no, you're not putting that machine on me. And the doctor really gave me a hard time, and I called Nina and I said, hey, sweetheart, they're talking about intubating me. You're my healthcare surrogate. You tell them no.
Yeah, everybody, I heard that too, that most of the people they put on the incubator just killed them. Death sentence.
80%.
God almighty.
So I just said, and the doctor, when he was questioning, I said, Doc, if I'm going to die, I know if I don't have anything stuck with artificial breather, y'all are going to work on me. If I got that artificial breathing, you're going to sit there and watch me die. And he just shook his head and walked out.
Well, let me tell you a story that happened to me. I had, this was yesterday. I ain't proud of it, and I hate it, because it's cost me some work. You know, my antenna's on a hazer, so these storms was moving in, so I brought my antenna to the ground yesterday. I brought it all the way to the ground, and it was just pouring down rain, so I was like, okay, I'll disconnect this battery when it quits raining. Well, I got up to go to work and forgot about it. So then I get to work, and I'm like, man, I really should have disconnected that. In the back of my head is like, you should have disconnected that battery. Okay. Well, I get home, my antenna's all the way to the top of my tower where it normally sits. And I had brought it down, and I know nobody here would have touched it. So I walked over and started looking at it. Well, the cable was broke. I mean, this is 1/4 inch cable I used, and my winch had broke that cable because it hit the top of the tower, and thank God I had those stops up there to keep it from just going out the top of the tower. And then when the cable broke, the two little legs are on a spring-loaded deal that sits on one of the leg rungs, and they popped and caught it. If they didn't, that damn 300-400 pound antenna would have come down 70 foot and just crashed to the ground.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, now I got to fix this crap just because I didn't undo that battery, and the switch or relay or something must have got popped with lightning or something.
I had that happen once with my U.S. Steel crank-up 55-footer, and the cable snapped, and oh my God, that thing slammed down onto that pad. Bent the boom a little bit. You know, the boom kind of had a little slight bow in it, so all I did was reverse the boom. I flipped it upside down.
Yeah, I can't tell by looking at it down here if everything is good up there. You know, I'm hoping it didn't bend the hazer any or something like that. I mean, because I didn't put one of them little 1,500 pound winches on it. It's like a 3,500 pound winch, and yeah, that was a hell of a force to snap that 1/4 inch cable. I'm sorry, that took a lot.
Yeah. You know, when I did that U.S. Steel, just the cable set for that was, and this is 10 years ago, that was $180 for that. And I said, my God.
Yeah, I tell you, sometimes it's mind-boggling what the wind can do. And then lightning, I've only been really blasted the one time through the radio. Gosh, that goes all the way back to my first day.
You want to film on the 40?
Okay,
40, yeah. Yeah, 40.
I mean, I've religiously, though, Tom, ever since I've had my hazer, after I got it in the position I wanted it, I got them on wing nuts. I'd just take the wing nuts off and take the battery out and put it back in my little room and put the charger on it, be ready for when I want to use it again. The one time in what, 2 years now, I leave the battery on it, it does that. I was like, what are the odds of that? I got to go get a lottery ticket.
Yeah. Well, I'll be able to put my tower up at the new place. I don't know if I'm going to do it. It's just 40-foot rung, 25. I'm not going to put anything big on it. Just maybe some VHF, UHF stuff.
Yeah, it's fun. It's something to piddle with, especially now that you are retired. You ought to put your Mosley Pro 67B3 on it, dude. I'm going to tell you, I love this thing. It is a crusher.
Oh, I'm sure. I do miss having that 10-element log, though. That was a fun antenna. I heard them. I could work them.
Oh, definitely. I mean, it's armchair. Most of them are. I enjoy. I tell you what, I really enjoy, Tom, is when I'm on, say, 20 meters or something like that, or 10 meters, and I'm listening to them take calls, and all the calls are 5-4, and he's like, I can't talk to you. I can't even hardly hear you. And then I key up, and it's like, oh, you're 20 over S9. I was like, yeah, okay.
That's always been a pet peeve of mine, and I haven't struggled with that until I guess certain locations where, and I'll tell you where it happens and why it happens, I think. But being over here on the East Coast, I do enjoy DXing up on 10, and I've had chances to work some Asia prefixes that, frankly, the West Coast sometimes I can hear both sides of the conversation. That happens a lot more than not. I don't ever really remember hearing both sides, no matter where the station was here, stateside, but I can't seem to get through those megawatt systems over on the United States West Coast to get into those hard prefixes of Asia.
No, I can't. I can destroy them. I'll tell you how to do it. You get you a big old beam and legal fussling.
Yeah, it helps.
Did you lose your,
8877.
were you done with the big amp?
Yeah, just get you a couple of 8877s and just talk when you want there. You don't got to wait in line. You just say, hey. They're like, hold on. They'll usually tell you, hold on a second. I'll get right with you.
Yeah, I mean, but as far as it, but now, the other time I did truly experience it was a year ago when I was all I had was that Kenwood 480 in the truck, and I was using just a Wilson 5000 mag mount with no real power, but when you're trying to work DX from a mobile, that's why it says on my QRZ page, some of those guys that really are in it for the fun and not the numbers, will make their call and say mobiles, any mobiles out there. And I was able to work into the Middle East last year on 10 mobile.
Oh, yeah, I used to do a lot of CB mobile. We'd be crushing that Netherlands and all that kind of stuff driving down the interstate.
Yeah, I don't know. I've always been into I don't know if it was my dad, but when I first got into CB, it was 1972, and at that time there just happened to be a band opening. All I had was a ground plane, one of those basic $13 aluminum CB ground planes on a 50-foot telescopic mast and a Cobra radio, and shoot, I remember talking to Canada just like I did my next door neighbor.
And there goes another one coming in, guys. Get ready. It's about the show's fixing to begin.
Good luck on that one.
Be putting a hammer on them suckers. Call it hammer time. What's going on over there, Robbie Dale?
Oh, I don't know. Just got up, come in here, turned it on, and I heard you guys are talking there. Good morning to each and every one of my friends, KT4TF, and the ones that ain't. Good morning, Robbie Dale.
And good morning, Robbie Dale and 1FM.
Everybody's friends. We're all friendly around here.
Yep. What'd you decide to do? You going to move it to a different one?
Yeah, we're going to move it to a different one. And we did get one of them, I think, off our back. That KR4IS that kept forming the entire net. He finally got a talking to or a letter or something. I'm waiting to see if it was for real. That's what I heard, so we'll find out.
Okay. Well, just send me something. Let me know where you went to.
Yeah, okay. Well, I probably will wait till it'll be one of them things. I'll be on 7200 the day of it, and then I'll find a clear one because if I set it now, it would be all jumbled up by the time we got there.
Oh, I understand that completely. But I'm supporting you 100%.
All right. I know Robbie Dale's got my back.
You got somebody that's got you targeted?
Oh, yeah. There's if you've ever been on 7200, there's a bunch of targeting going on. It's out of control. So there's this one guy, he has quite a bit of power. He's a 50-year ham, and he don't want to be any kind of normalcy on the frequency. He just wants it to be total chaos, so he keeps it going.
I'm not being mean or anything, but why on earth would you get on 7200? I'm up on 40 most days from mid-morning on until I go to 10, but 7200 to me has got the biggest red flag on it of any frequency that I operate on.
Exactly. Just trying to straighten it out a little bit. I started my group, the FBOs, the Fine Business Operators, so we're trying to make it a little more friendly, not so much what it is. You know what it is. It's what it's always been, and it'll probably always stay that way until the FCC wants to get serious about it. But it just a bunch of good hams trying to have some good conversation, and when I get in there, I can usually have good conversation with whoever I want. So it changes the demeanor of the frequency for a little bit.
Sometimes there's a lot of good people there, Ed. And there's 3 or 4 of them I like to talk to, but when you get there and you start having a conversation, then all the BS starts. Yeah.
Sorry about that. I had to clear my throat. I go up and usually check in on that, like I said, that South Cars net. And I used to check in on that E-Cars net, but they're at 7251 and 7255. And then I used to go and listen for that bunch down in Florida, down on, they used to be in there with us on 7180, and I think somebody said they went to 7181, and I remember, God, he had that funny name, but anyway, they were a fun bunch, but I hardly hear them anymore. I think they might be SK.
Well, I know there's a lot of stuff going on up there, but I try to go in there and have a good conversation with people. And I do like going up to 51 and listen to those guys quite often. But during the day, when this band drops out in the mornings, and I usually go to 40. Now, sometimes I go to 20 and receive pictures. Just turn the computer on over here, just set the program up and just get pictures, slow scan pictures. But otherwise, I just roll up there to talk to people and have a good conversation. And when it gets bad, I'll leave.
K4HIL at whatever 50.
Yeah, KT410.
L150.
M4EDX.
184AOH. Good morning.
I'm gonna tell y'all this. I'm gonna throw this out there. I think Ed's got selective memory because he just remembered a whole lot of crap, and he said he couldn't remember nothing. Come on, Ed.
I remember old stuff. I can tell you the first phone number I had couldn't have been more than 4 or 5, and my parents. I had an episode one time when I was like, 2.5 or 3, and I went under. My mom had me in the backyard. I was probably more like 3 or 4, but I'd seen the dog dig a hole go into the fence in the backyard, so I followed suit. And that was back in 1965 or 6, and I ended up at a gas station downtown Spartanburg.
Oh yeah, I can see. Yeah, you're messed up.
But, I remember 235-6709 was our home phone number, and I was taught to memorize that, and it's just funny, I can remember things from a long ways back, probably even, up to about a year and a half, 2 years ago, real well.
8675309.
I thought that same thing. 8675309. You must have made that song.
No, but that was a good song. 288-4002, when we moved out into the country, that was our number. We were, I think, some of the first folks to get that 288 prefix in the 864. No, South Carolina used to be all 803 area code.
Yeah, they didn't call them the Yankees come in here.
That is weird how you can remember stuff like that, because I do remember my grandmother's phone number. It was 828-4460, area code 205 in Alabama. And I won't never forget that. How do you get stuff in your head like that, but stuff you want to remember, you can't remember?
See, I can't remember your call or your name. That's what that's what I just thought about. That's why I was asking you to repeat your call earlier.
Yeah, I am Kilo 4 Hotel India Lima, and my name is Todd, Tango Oscar Delta, with the 2 D's, Tango Oscar Delta, and all you got to do is remember I am in the propane department, and my last name's Hill, so I am King of the Hill.
Well, you remember when you came in there earlier and I said the freight, I remembered you were a driver, but I didn't. And you've told me all that.
Hey, Todd.
Hey.
I have tried to get a hold of the space station and give Butch your message, but I have not got a hold to him yet. I've heard them, but they haven't heard me.
Who's this now?
Butch, the guy up in the space station.
Oh, okay, yeah, Butch, yeah. He's still stuck up there, dude. And once you've been up there so long, your body starts going to pot.
Yeah, well, you told me give him a message, and I haven't gotten contact with him yet, but I'm going to keep trying.
Yeah, keep on trying. Yeah, tell him Todd Hill said hello. Yeah, I hate he's stuck up there, man. They need to get him down.
It's Trump's fault.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Todd.
Come on, Tom.
How long has it been since they've been up there? Like 9 months?
How you doing, Tom?
Is there not a Russian something being launched or something? Or are they just hating us so bad they wouldn't help us?
I think it's all up to Elion now.
Well, they're claiming he's got a conflict of interest with his government contracts. Well, hell, he got those under Obama and Biden. SpaceX and all that. Well, he's getting millions and billions. Well, yeah, because NASA don't have their own program anymore. That's why he's doing it. He's pretty darn successful at it.
Is he drawing a salary?
Yeah, he got $1 in his contract for helping Trump as an advisor.
Yeah, I heard them say yesterday or Friday or one day this week he was a government employee now.
Yep, $1.
Oh, and the Democrats just they'll attack him for that. He's getting kicked back somewhere.
Well, that's like Trump don't draw a salary. Well, he does get a salary, but he puts it back into he'll find some department and throw it back into that.
What Musk got a lawsuit against him for?
Because he's taking all their side money away. He's who pays $30 million or whatever for Sesame Street at Iraq? That was directly going in to people's pockets. That's like the $500 toilet seats and hammers that they make.
Yeah. Okay, I see what it is. Major lawsuit to end Elon Musk take over the federal government and landed before one of Donald Trump's least favorite judges.
My favorite, and it was on the 5 the other day. It's the only Fox show I watch. where they said $1 million went to for cocaine for the Japanese quail to see if they were sexually promiscuous. Unbelievable.
Well, that aid office, I like to try to get a politically motivated news report. So sometimes I think PBS, that public broadcast system, gives you as fair a news as anybody. This goes back, 10 days ago or so, but they were talking about the fact that USAID office had given the country down in Nicaragua like $7 million so they could have a LBGQT parade.
Yeah, and I heard that those tribes down there in one of them African places was going to go take care of business. They didn't like it at all. Some of them tribes was like cannibalistic at one time, and then you got them coming after you. I don't think I'd want that. No.
And they're not like the cannibal kind of people, are they?
Yeah, they like eating meat.
Hell yeah, they used to eat folks, and hey, you got them coming after you. They don't care if they kill you.
That's where the largest crock pot is. Well, not crock pot, old wash pot. That's where the largest wash pot is. It'll hold 15 people in it.
I remember when that some of those indigenous cannibals had been they were used. There was a big lawsuit over that because Coca-Cola had used them in an advertisement.
They call that human stew.
Well, that's where Coke came up with that. Everything goes good with Coke.
Let me tell y'all what I done yesterday, and y'all probably don't see. No kidding. I bought me a box of Planters peanuts.
No kidding.
Yeah, in a case of Coca-Colas.
Did you put them down in it?
I did. I got me one yesterday and opened me up a couple packs and poured them in there.
Did it pour out the top?
I remember doing that.
Did it come out the top?
No, you take a couple drinks up first, Ed. Yeah, I ain't done that since I was a kid.
I remember sitting over there we had a gas station that was near our neighborhood when we first moved out there to the country, and we'd go hang out. That was a cool thing. And they had orange. I don't think it was Orange Crush. I think it was Fanta Orange. And we would try to pop the cap and drink one of those without, chug it.
E4 card.
It's 4TF.
M4EDS.
It wasn't.
It's 4AOA.
And that old orange, carbonation, it would make orange foam come out of your nostrils.
It's kind of nice in here, Tom, without all that riffraff in here.
You getting your house done, Tom?
Yeah. Next couple of weeks I get my CO, so.
How's the wife doing?
She starts that chemo stuff tomorrow.
Okay. Well, I hope the best for her.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, my wife went through it. I tell you what, they've come a long way with it. They can do a lot.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Didn't put that on Facebook because everybody wants to play doctor, and we.
Yeah, I would just keep it quiet.
Didn't tell our neighbors because.
Don't need all that crap on Facebook.
Yeah, didn't tell our neighbors because.
That's the worst place to put something like that.
Yeah, she told one of her girlfriends, she says, "Oh, don't do nothing," or then another girlfriend told her, "Oh, just cut them off." Well,
Is she going through cancer?
Yeah.
little gal that I met, I hadn't told you, Robbie Dale. I was telling Captain Charles.
in the middle of
You know the dogs that I had Friday that I pulled out on the road over here?
Yeah, I seen that.
Well, heck, man, she texted me yesterday morning, and I ended up going over there and spending all day with her, and we went to dinner last night. She's a little honey, but she survived that. She was a tennis pro, and she told me she's 50, so she's about a dozen years younger than me.
That don't matter.
Can she cook?
Well, that's why we went out and ate. I don't know. She's been real ill. I mean, the cancer, she went through the chemo. She ended up with, like, she told me the real aggressive breast cancer, which, you know, my sister-in-law had that same combination of letters and numbers, and really, if you want a chance to survive, that's just the choice you have to make. And she's been through that double mastectomy, but she's also, you know, a lot of times, like, I know she and my sister-in-law, they just go ahead and prefab a place, and that way, as your wounds recover, they can, you know, put not prosthetics, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, reconstruction.
Yeah. I mean, she accidentally was showing me a picture of her storm damage on her phone, and one of them was obviously, I know it was a mistake because she snatched the phone out from in front of me, but I guess it was her exposed at the doctor's office here recently.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I told my wife don't worry about that. I mean, I really didn't want her to go through like 3 more surgeries just for that. And I was like, for what? Oh, by the way,
if my prick were loaded with cancer, you can bet I'd be down in the workshop right now with a, you know, sawzall.
By the way, Todd.
Hey, yeah, there's a night shifter that said all this stuff happened to me as karma.
No, yeah, that's not even, God almighty.
Yeah, I know.
You gotta be kidding.
Unbelievable. That is bullcrap.
Yeah. But last man standing gets to tell the story.
I think some people get a little carried away. Well, I mean, we all do. Hell, like that comment.
When somebody's wife got in there and I didn't, I said, I have no quarrel with you. I don't argue with another man's wife. You just don't. That's the way I was brought up. You got a problem with a woman, you go to the man. You got a problem with a man, you go to the man. But you don't argue with another man's woman ever, even if she starts it. You stay out of that. And I did that one time. I went there one time with Greg, and I regretted that, man. That's when I did that public apology on the radio about 2 weeks. That bothered me. That I went there with Greg a couple years ago, and I even did it in form of an email to the whole masses, and I put it out there in the air. It was wrong. I shouldn't have done it. Family needs to stay out of it, and anytime you're in a, let's just say, a contrasting point of view with other operators.
Exactly. I actually apologized to Joe Italiano, because I attacked him kind of brutal, his family, and I should have never did that. It's one thing you can attack me, but let's leave our families out of it.
I agree.
Absolutely. That just shows you the character of that individual. Hey, Todd, I sent you an email.
I'm going to eat breakfast. Be back in a little bit. Catch forklift.
Give me call a forklift.
Go fire up that barbecue grill.
That's this afternoon.
All right.
There's it. I got in. Oh, you got your, what'd you get?
Well, I hadn't gotten it yet. I was supposed to get it tomorrow, but the kind woman who had asked me to get an insurance policy on it, she didn't tell me Thursday night was the cutoff for getting it tomorrow. So when I called her Friday morning and I'd made a decision on how to do it, she said, "That's great. I got the information. Thank you." And I said, "Well, before we hang up," I said, "What's the plan for Monday?" And she goes, darn. She said, "I didn't tell you that you had to have that insurance info to me by Thursday at 5, or it'll probably be another 2 weeks before we get it to you." But anyway, that it is what it is, and I'm not mad. But yeah, it's supposed to be. It'll probably be about 2 weeks again now.
Dude, that is 100% awesome. I mean, I had the OG, the original Scrambler, which it didn't have 4 doors. This is a Gladiator or whatever. But yeah, I had the Scrambler, which was a 2-door pickup truck, but it was based off of the old CJs, like a CJ7 that was just stretched a little bit, made it look like a pickup back then. They only made it 2 years, 84 and 85, and I think 86. And I had an 84 model, and I wish I still had it, because I've been looking at some restored ones. They're about $40,000 right now.
Oh, no. I'm going to send you a picture here in a second. I built, when I quit road racing motorcycles, I was trying to find something else that was maybe not as lethal to my life. And so I went first to get a pilot's license, and that just didn't get my blood up enough. So I went and bought a CJ7 that was in extremely good condition, and just lost my mind building it. And I've got a photo of it, but I managed to get it. It was so clean, it made a really nice street Jeep. So I had a set of 35-inch, aluminum Mickey Thompson's, machined aluminum with 35-inch BF Goodrich TAs on it for the road. But when I took it off-road, I went with 38-inch Super Swampers on just some cheap steel wheels in case I bent them. And I knew that aluminum would bend easier than that steel, but either way, I got a picture of it. I found that I'll send you here the CJ7.
Yeah, I had a CJ5 back in high school. That's the first vehicle my parents give me. They give me, that's a good one to give a 16-year-old CJ5. But it was a 79 model, and it was right then when they started making the CJ7, around early 70s, 78, 79, I think, when they started making the CJ7s. But mine was a 79. I had the 304 V8, with the 3-speed. And I had a buddy that had the inline 6 with a 4-speed. So we got bumper to bumper, dude, and he pushed me all over the place.
Well, I had the right friends at the right time, and we did some funny things with my Jeep. I mean, we took out the 6-cylinder. I got a V8 out of a Jeep Wagoneer. I built the transmission and went like a total Dana drivetrain and Mosier solid axles, welded spider gears, and then we reverse shackled the front shackles, and it moved the front axle forward about 2.5 inches. And it was funny because those Jeep trails that they're not just Jeep trails, but over near Murphy, where Marty lives, you'd get the same mud, rut from the same wheelbases continually trying to climb the rock. And I never thought about reverse shackling the front axle, but it gave that Jeep a different foothold on things.
K42, yeah, exactly. I had a buddy that had a Power Wagon, one of those Dodge Power Wagons, and back in it was probably a 70s model Power Wagon. He had what you're talking about, same setup, fully posi traction, except he had 44-inch groundhogs under it. And dude, he would climb stuff that I would just look at it and say, I don't think so.
Well, you should have that CJ7 pic. I can't find, I mean, that's back in 19 whatever. I think there's a date on that CJ7 picture because I won that Kamikaze Award from the Jeep Club. That's up on top of that Widowmaker over at Tellico Off-Road Vehicle Park.
Oh yeah, that's nice. Mine was similar. Except I had the 304 V8 and coming right underneath the the doors, I had the cherry bomb mufflers that I had got scalding hot and sprayed water up in them and blew the glass out of them.
Well, I just wanted to share that. I don't want to mean to dictate the frequency and N4 EDX if I didn't. Sorry if we don't.
I appreciate it.
Yep.
I love Jeep, so I'm a Jeep guy. I mean, I do wish I would have kept that 84 Scrambler though, because it was what all the new ones are looking like now. You know, all these Gladiators and all that, they look like the old Scrambler.
Well, there's a color that's on that new Scrambler that everybody seems to want, and you figure that it's probably the least painted from the factory. But the Jeep, there's a Gladiator website for Gladiator owners, and they're calling that color Gobi, G-O-B-I.
Yeah, I like it. Boy, that is unreal. I'm glad they finally, somebody's helping y'all. Hopefully the president gets in here, he does something. I mean, that's a shame what they've done to y'all and California. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Well, I tell you what, this little gal, Stacy, that I took those dogs back to her house, those darn dogs, you didn't know this, Todd, but Friday, a fella come up knocking on my front door, and there were two great Pyrenees. One was looked like it had been crossbred with a wolf. It was that gray and silver, just beautiful coat. And the other one honestly looked like a gigantic white lab. But they're great Pyrenees, and he thought they were my dogs, but they were out here in the front, out in the middle of the road, and apparently a fella had run off the road down here. I guarantee he was texting and looked up and then saw him too late to slow down.
People, that's killing tons of people. That's something they need to deal with. You know, some things, yeah, I don't like government oversight, but I think some things like that, it's going to take it to get that off there. People talking on their phones all the time.
Well, this little house is so old. You know, it's been sitting here for I know that it's been here for 108 years. And it's back when they used to put the house right on the road. You know, I got about 40 feet from the front steps. I got a little concrete, front path that goes to two more steps down to the street. And there's a retaining wall out there. So my front yard is about maybe 30 inches above the road. But, these dogs, I ended up hanging on to them. I had cables for my dog. I got a puppy back at Christmas, and so I had them restrained because they had no sense. They wanted to go right back out in the road. And finally, the owner, she'd been in the hospital all day, and I got a call from her Friday night about 9:30.
Well, I'm glad you found where they belong, because that's horrible when a dog gets out and you come home and he's missing.
Well, I was 7.5 miles from here to her house.
I just sent you a picture. Look at that one.
Man, that ICOM 7760, that's a sweet-looking radio. I didn't realize it had a detachable face. I'm going through yesterday's emails, and Gigapart has Actually, they got an open box model they're already offering for $500 less. Let me check my gun.
I am so happy with my radio setup right now. I ain't looking at nothing. I mean, I'm sort of satisfied.
Well, I know. I've been itching for another amp, but I probably need to give that up for now.
I'm just so happy for everybody. I can't believe it.
I'm glad you are. I'm happy for you.
Yeah. Everybody's doing good. That's a good deal. Good morning, everybody. K4KMD.
Ken, what's been going on, buddy? I've been working. I worked a half of a week, only 82 hours this week.
Yeah, I heard you say they had declared a state of emergency and your hours weren't restricted, and yeah, I mean it's Lord, that makes for a rough week on a man, but you're doing it.
Dude, I am I'm in such good shape for a 60-year-old. You know, the 60 is the new 40. Y'all do realize that?
Well, over at your house that might be, Wade. It ain't like that over.
And he's so humble. Gosh, he keeps that ego in check.
Yeah.
Well, I know they was talking about, Ed was talking about she's in her, younger than him. I'm telling you right now, guys, if something happened to my old lady, I would be dating 40-year-olds. I'm sorry. If you was over 40, I'd probably say you're out. That's just because, I feel more mentally and physically around 40.
Yeah, if something happens to my wife, I ain't going looking for another woman. Heck with it, man. What would I do? You know what I do? I won't have no problem. Yeah, I'll just leg hunt Johnny Birdhead and pucker my lips up and smash him on one of his calves. Won't have to worry about chapped lips no more than nothing.
Oh, he would like that, boy. You'd be in like Flint with that one.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah, that made me speechless.
Yeah, I figured that would. Hey, Ed, I apologize to you, man. I think you sent me an email the other morning and said call you ASAP, and I just saw that last night.
Yeah, there's really no reason for you to have gotten that. Where'd you get that message?
It was an email, and man, I got a bad deal with emails. I forget about it. Won't look at them things, but yeah, I did get that. I think you was going to look at the amplifier or something.
I might have gone to the wrong person, my brother.
Oh, okay.
You know who I was trying to get a hold of was Ben down in Fort Myers.
Oh.
That's kind of one that makes perfect sense, though. I was curious. I figured at least he would have emailed me back and said something like, I just got it, or what can I do? And if you got that, and it just said call me ASAP.
Yeah, call me back ASAP. And then it's got your name down there, U.S. Navy veteran. It's got the phone number down there.
What's in the subject line?
I don't know if it ain't showing it to me right here. I don't know how do I look at the subject line? If it's not right here, I don't know.
I'm ashamed to say that I don't remember. I can look real quick under sent and see if I've got a copy of it.
All right. Well, anyway, I just I thought I'll just let you know I did not see that. It was sent on February the 14th.
Okay. That's Friday. I'm looking real quick.
Hey, Todd, what are you're saying you kind of gonna ease off to another frequency?
40 meters. I get on 72, straighten it out. I got to straighten 7200 out. It's nobody else wants to do it, so I figure I'll try it.
Yeah, okay. I heard y'all a while ago. I didn't know whether you was talking about. You wasn't going to announce. You must be talking about when you're going to have a net, FBO net. You're going to try to do it somewhere else.
Yeah. We're going to slide off to another frequency because they quorum it so bad we can't even get the net in. I mean, we get the net in, but it's aggravating. We can't talk about nothing. When you have a net, you need to talk about things and see about what people think you should do and what we're doing good, what we're doing bad. You can't do that when you can't hear nobody.
Todd.
Yeah.
Hey, Todd, what frequency, so you don't advertise it, but which one are you going to?
I have no clue. Had to be a game day decision whenever I look at the band and we find an opening, because 40 is so covered up. You just gotta find a spot and get in it.
So that's like a need to know basis.
Well, it's a game day. I will be on 7200. See, the net starts at 7 Central, 8 Eastern. So at about 5, I try to get in there from 5 to 6 or 7, before it starts, and do like early check-ins. I just take some early check-ins, and then I'll be looking up and down the band, and then I'll tell everybody where to go. And that's the way it'll end up.
Well, that just sounds a little bit too organized and, too kind of what you'd call professional.
Oh, yeah, it is. It's 100%, scientifically and mathematically formulated.
Has that been approved by the Food and Drug Administration?
The ARRL, and that we have their total support.
And then AACP.
Yeah, and the NAACP and what else could it be? I don't know. We are accredited by the Better Business Bureau. We're AAA rated. We're AAA rated with the Better Business Bureau.
Roger, Dodger.
But I can honestly say one of the quormers that quormed our net the entire time, using his call sign, has gotten in trouble. I don't have it in writing yet. I haven't seen it in writing yet, but I did hear that he was dealt with, and we'll find out here in the near future.
I think I'll come up there and start quirming your net.
No, you ain't. You're going to stay right here and leave us alone, because I'm cleaning that mess up.
Well, I thought that those days were gone, but it's interesting. Is the guy? How do you go about finding these people these days? Don't you have to have boots on the ground to locate a quormer?
Yeah, that's the best way. We got people like Robbie Dale that has 40 meters in their truck, and they ride around, and they just happen to be going by somebody's house and say, hey, he's the one doing it. I don't think nobody's. They're doing more of a triangular research on this thing. You know, nailing it down to what part of the country it's coming from, and then I don't know how they go about it after that, but they know how to do it.
Well, I'm all for that. I'm just, you know, we were talking about that earlier on 7200. When I'm take my, you know, VFO and roll it up and down that 40-meter band, you get anywhere around 7200, and it's just this huge cloud on my scope.
Oh yeah, them people's got big power there. I usually go in QRP. I don't try to, you know, be the big guy or anything like that. I just go QRP.
I can't believe Todd told me I couldn't come up there and quorum them.
Man, you can. I don't care. See, it's a non-discriminatory process up there. Formers are welcome. We don't want them, but they're welcome. You bullies, we really want to keep out of there. So you bullies, just stay gone.
Morning, Charlie.
You see that text I sent you yesterday morning, Ed?
Yeah, I did, and then I ended up getting tied up with this little gal helping fix her barn back so she could keep her dog from running off, and that ended at 9:30 last night, and I just honestly I did, and I want to reply to you.
I think Ed found him a new little squeeze.
Let's hold on that comment.
W4MCF 730.
Kilo 4 Hotel.
N4EDX.
What you got over there on 40, Charlie? You got a big beam up?
No.
Okay, yeah, you wouldn't be nothing.
Okay.
Absolutely nothing.
Okay.
Crush you. I will crush you.
You remember I sold you what you're on.
Yeah, but I got the Mosley Pro 67 B3.
It don't matter.
Oh, it does. It's a beast. Kilo 4 Hotel India. Well, mine popped up late. What the heck's going on here? You was early, Charlie.
No, it wasn't either. 7:31 now.
I'm slow then. I got to fix my computer.
Well, we all know that.
Unbelievable. I'm behind, man.
Well, I was saying slow, but I wasn't talking about you being behind.
Charlie, as far as your text, I don't know. I think my interest would unfortunately lie with the original email about that commander.
that's fine. Just let me know.
Only because it's a financial, I've got time to bank on where I am on the waiting list, and I do appreciate that also. That was a kind thought, which I know doesn't come naturally to you.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna keep one or the other.
Love this amp though, Charlie. It's super easy to use, and it's kind of healthy.
That's baby amplifier.
Oh, I know. See, I know it's a driver. If you're my buddy Budweiser here in Nashville, it's your driver.
Charlie, if it had been in the right place at the right time, that I still think that Prometheus for $2,500 would have been the deal of the day.
The deal of the day was back in the day when Hugh Brunson sold me the Drake L4B for $475.
Yeah, it's hard to go back and not get a resistance. Nudge my VFO. Yeah, get a resentment about what things used to cost, because I'll go back and look at these references, like on that Commander, and when the people put their ratings or whatever on that, like EHAM, those references go back and it'll have the list price. Oh, you know what else, Charlie? When I was checking my place on the waiting list on the Mercury 3, do you know the price has gone up $300 since I've put my name on there? I guess they're going to expect you to pay the higher price.
More than likely.
Yeah, it went from 28 to 3,100 in just I'm gonna guess it's been in the last 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah, Ed, but what I'm talking about is even back then they was going for $1,100, $1,200, so that was half price.
Well, that's what just like these Dentrons, they were advertising back then at 2KW, and the price was like $899 brand new.
I'm back. It's 410.
Cut your amp on.
Cut my amp off?
On?
It is on.
Oh, I'm sorry.
God almighty.
God almighty. Hey, Rob
You want me to run him out of here?
No, I'm just without it, though.
Let's see it again.
Hear me is without it. 1, 2, 3.
And with it?
Hear me is with it. 1, 2, 3.
1.5 S unit.
Well, I say it don't change much. I ain't no bully. Over.
Over?
Hey, Charlie.
Yeah.
How about claim jumping for me?
What am I claim jumping?
Not you to me.
What did I claim jumping?
Charlie out there, he's going to pump it up.
I sure would like to have me a 3-holer.
Pump it up.
Oh, well, cash is king.
I hear you. What do you think, Ed?
What's that?
I'm trying to claim jump you.
I tried to get in on you, Charlie. I can't do it.
What you trying to do? Talk over me?
No, I was trying to talk over Charlie, and I couldn't do it.
Oh.
There's a reason.
He's got OM.
He's got RF on his signal.
No, he's got OM.
Sound like he's got a whole lot of RF coming out of that thing. He's putting it to me.
Location.
Look at the
100%.
That's why I was laughing at your beam comment. I got a bad storm coming through here.
Yeah, you're kind of under it. It's beyond us now, but when I first got in here this morning, it was kind of right on top of us, but we dodged all the lightning, or the majority of it. It was down in South Carolina. Randy's getting it right now.
Well, it just come. It's still here. It just thunder and lightning carrying on. It ain't as bad as it was about 10, 15 minutes ago.
We're not talking about your next door neighbor, Charlie. We're going to be talking to somebody in Asia, somebody over in Australia, Japan. We're going to make the real test.
Yeah, we'll see.
It's moving pretty fast too.
What you don't realize, Todd, is Querman is a two-way street. Just because you hear them just because they hear you don't mean you can hear them.
Oh no, see, we stepped our game up. We switch around to different SDRs listening. You know, that's because they can't, like you said, they can't stop to transmit. So I just have to jump around a lot of times on these different SDRs to listen. But you're exactly right.
All right, I gotta go. Catch 410.
Hey, Robert Dale. Did you get that picture I sent you this a couple days ago about that? Did you see the front end of that SUV?
He unplugged caused storm hit.
Gotcha.
I'm seeing it. Man, I tell you what, last night was rough. When I was in here last night, I had literally 20 over on just the static crash. If you wasn't 20 or better to start, you wasn't hardly being hurt. I've only got S8, S9 right now. It's manageable. Fixing to pull the plug. Y'all have a good day out there. I'm going to go get me some breakfast, and hopefully we'll talk to everybody maybe next week after I work my next 82 hours. I'll catch y'all later. KU4HA.
Have a good day. It's good to hear you.
I didn't think he'd ever get out of here.
Have good, and you can have it now, Charlie. It's yours. I'm out of here.
Strange. What's strange?
Well, we're under a severe thunderstorm warning till like 8:30. There's not even many static crashes. 10-4AH.
Well, you had them a minute ago. I just mentioned you directly, Randy. I'm watching this blitzer tongue. There they are right above your house at the Virginia line.
Really?
Yeah, and I don't know, they're not as loud to me as they were an hour or two ago when that came through Asheville, but yeah, the hot spot right now is between Greensboro and north in your Virginia line, and then there's a real active bunch down in the Gulf of America.
Well, that one north of me must be around Reidsville if it's between me and the Virginia line. But there's no rain here. It's not windy. It's not anything. Which way is it moving?
East. You know where a town called Shepherd's Mill is? Shepherd's Mill. It may be Virginia.
Not really. Where is it in relationship to Danville?
You know where Sandy Ridge is?
Oh yeah.
Well, you got one strike about 5 miles to the northwest, and you got 4 strikes between Sandy Ridge. If you were to turn to the right, and either go towards Anniston or Amostown. There's been 4 in the last 5 minutes right there.
Really? That's north of me, about 30 miles northwest. Which way are they moving? East, straight east?
Yeah. It's just a bright white line of lightning. Well, it's yellow and orange, but you're getting the white for the last 10 minutes or so.
Oh, well, if I get electrocuted. There was one. Let me turn around here and turn my computer on so they can watch this thing.
You got that? Do you use that blitzer tongue?